Rob and Slim Show.
Hey, this is Jhene Erwin.
Hi,
Jhene Erwin.
How
What's
you
going
doing?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Great.
We're doing great.
Little
Good.
drunk.
Little drunk, little buzzed.
Little Hennessy.
I've sort of had the early mummy wine as well.
All right.
Slowed down about half an hour ago.
Yeah, what are we, I don't even know, 3 hours in right now.
3 hours to drinking Hennessy and whiskey and Jim Beam.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. I had some boxed wine.
Box wine. All right.
Box wine.
I didn't really. Yeah.
Oh, well, now we gotta hang up with you. You gotta be drunk to do an interview with us. Come on, no, I'm just kidding.
No, you don't understand. I'm trying to sober up. So my mom's visiting. She's downstairs, a little tipsy, and my daughter's watching I Love Lucy for the first time. So my mom's a little tipsy and is trying to school my daughter on women's rights. While watching I Love Lucy.
I Love Lucy. What is she watching that on? Because is that on anywhere anymore?
Yeah, it's on Amazon, actually. We checked it out. Her teacher played her the Vegemin, whatever.
Yeah.
So she discovered and
that
so,
show was cool. Yeah, I remember watching that with my Aunt Patty as a kid. And
it's like a feminist box wine movement.
And my girlfriend Jules has the Amazon box. She loves that thing. Like, she said that thing is awesome.
The Amazon Prime, or what, are we on boxed wine? Which one? They're both awesome.
Amazon box wine. Yes. No, the Amazon.
I think
Prime.
she
Prime, she has the box. They have a box.
Fire
now,
TV.
Yes, the Fire
She
TV.
has the Fire TV. But but what Jenna's probably talking about is the Amazon Prime. If you're an Amazon Prime member, it's kind of like having Netflix.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Yes, yeah, and there's music too, which I just discovered, which is kind of awesome.
I didn't know that. That's cool. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, it's limited, but there's some pretty nice playlists, so that's good.
Nice.
Cool. And where are you located, Jhene?
I am in Seattle.
Seattle.
Oh, nice.
Seattle, Washington. Yep.
The home of grunge.
Home of grunge. I was just gonna say that. You took it right out of my mouth, Pete. You came in my mouth.
What were you just gonna say? Sorry, I missed you.
The home of grunge.
Yeah, the home of grunge. Although when grunge goes sort of middle America, then grunge is done. And I think now I don't know what's happening. I feel like the calculated geek chic thing is running its course as well. So
That's what Slim said.
I thought Pete would have a comment on that because he's a huge grunge fan. She said grunge is kind of like...
Oh, yeah, it's definitely dead. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I love metal, I love grunge, I love punk, rock. I'm just complete...
I think music...
all out,
I know I just squeaked like Peter Brady, but I think music in general is dead. Like, everything is just
even
gone.
like, it's...
Even in rap, even hip-hop, you've got to go underground to get anything good in any genre anymore.
Well, there's so much stuff out there. It's one of the things I love about shows like what you guys are doing, is because it does, gives the people a chance to see some of the stuff that isn't sort of pushed in the mainstream. The little rivers that are just as valid, but maybe not, as mainstream powerful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like we've had a lot of guys on that are like, why are you not famous? Like this music
that
is amazing.
Or like, why are you doing us? Like we've gotten a lot of great people all around the spectrum. Like
absolutely.
The problem is that the FCC has smashed anything that's subversive.
Anything that could be interesting, or
anything that makes people think, anything that's from the heart. The FCC has pretty much ripped that out.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty tough. Yeah, and you guys probably came up, same as me, at a time when things have kind of exploded, and there are so many possibilities, and so many people can be creative, but there's so much out there. It's hard to find. It's hard to find. What you respond to as well.
Yeah, it's easier and harder at the same time. It's easier to put your own stuff out there, but harder to get it out because there's so much out there.
It's true, and not all of it is good. I don't know if you saw the film, the Banksy film. What was it? Exit Through the Gift Shop.
I like that. I don't know if you're putting it down, but I liked it. Exit Through the Gift Shop. I enjoyed. I don't know. what your opinion was.
I loved it, and I loved at the end when Banksy says, "You know, I used to think that everybody should make art, and now I don't."
Yeah, that was good.
We had a friend too who made fun of Slim for pronouncing it that way, Banksy.
Yeah, he was like, "It's not Banksy, it's Bansky." I'm like, "No, it's Banksy," and he got really on me about it. I was like, "Oh, Slim's an idiot. He doesn't know it." I'm like, "No, it's Banksy." I watched the documentary, and they say the name several times. So, like, well, I had to ask you then about the documentary. Do you think a lot of people think it was staged? Like, they don't think that what was that guy's name? The mastermind or.
Oh yeah, Mr. Crazy Head. What was he, Mr.?
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I tend to think that it wasn't.
Right.
But I also don't want to look foolish. But yeah, I tend to think that it was just a bizarre sort of culmination of I'm about to sound really silly, but the collective subconscious and how that sort of operates and what people want to hear all at one time. And so people were willing to buy this illusion that was this Mr. What was his name? Mr. Brainhead?
Mr. Brainwash.
Mr. Brainwash.
Mr. Brainwash.
There we go.
Yep, that's what it was. Yeah, I thought.
I mean, whether it was true or not, what it said was fantastic, right?
Yeah.
In terms of the art world and people wanting to buy an illusion, basically.
Yeah, pretty much, because he had all this just ridiculous art. I know Rob hadn't seen the movie, but it was just like his art was just like a soda can, like it was like just stuff that didn't matter, like it's stupid shit. But yeah, yep, absolutely. You know what's also crazy about Banksy is like I still don't believe that nobody knows who this guy is. Like he's been doing this for years, and he somehow still is elusive, and that's talent in its own.
Pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. And the fact that he's been able to trust, I mean, he's obviously had to let a few people into his inner circle in order to do what he does.
Right.
But that he's been able to, that nobody spilled from there is incredible.
Because you would think greed would overcome them. You would think, like, I just fucking sell his identity to TMZ. Like,
well, that's the problem nowadays, you know?
Yeah.
And perhaps, I don't know, like maybe he's obviously smart. Maybe he's been smart enough to pick people that's not necessarily their first interest, but yeah, I'm totally a fan.
Yeah, I like Banksy. A lot of theories too, where people think he doesn't exist, that it's like a group, or that he's really like a female, or like nobody knows.
They've said things like that about William Shakespeare, that they don't think he was actually a guy. They think he was a group of people that traveled.
Yeah, down with them. No.
Jhene, what is your movie that you're making? Is that The House I Keep?
Well, The House I Keep, yeah, I made that, and it's a short film that I'm like, I'll bring it down for a minute. No, it's centered around early infant loss and miscarriage.
Wow.
And essentially, it was a short film that is meant to be a catalyst for discussion. Because it's sort of a taboo subject that a lot of people, it's gotten better over the years, but a lot of people are uncomfortable sharing. We have financing dinner parties, and people that had known each other for 20 years would tell stories that the other person didn't know at all. So and I'm really proud of it and think it's really beautiful. And I'm also working now on this sort of performance art / web series called Super Widow. So I've been working on that as well. So they're kind of very different, but I don't seem to be able to create in like the middle ground. It's
one or the other. Good. Yeah. That's what I was going to say. I didn't know what The House I Keep was about.
Is it out? Can we watch it? Is it?
Yeah. If you go to thehouseikeep.com, there's a link there. It screened on our local PBS station, and it was in the PBS online film festival, and so I think the link is still up there. You should be able to watch it. And the soundtrack was actually composed by Stuart Brawley, who is a Juno Award nominated Canadian and American, but the Juno was for the Canadian end of things, producer, and so it's an original soundtrack, so if you pop in some earbuds, it's well worth it. But we had a fantastic team here in Seattle. Sean Porter was the DP, and he's gone on to do some incredible projects, and yeah, it was a really, really sort of a special moment. And it's nice. It's a short film. It's 10 minutes, so it's not, it's just enough to get people, to stir people's own emotions, get them feeling, and then prompt them to talk about themselves, which we all like to do.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out, especially like if it's something we can all discuss. We'll maybe bring it to the show. That'd be fucking cool.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. That'd be amazing. I mean, I don't know how I'm not sure if you've tackled that subject matter, but it seems that people are being more and more forthcoming about their experiences with it, and not, just viewing it as a personal failure. As a lot of women were taught to believe that they had done something wrong, and they were sort of cursed. And it was featured on the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation on their website, Impatient Optimist, to sort of, bridging the experience of early infant loss and miscarriage with people in the developed world with the developing world as well. So, yeah, it's had a nice impact.
So, this is probably a very personal question, but
don't worry.
Have you gone through? Yeah. Okay. Have you gone?
Okay, here's my tragic life. We can all laugh. It's okay. It's the thing that gets us through. No, I had 3 in total miscarriages, and the second one is what prompted the film. And to get even more tragic and more, another reason that the film is even more special to me is, so my husband plays my husband in the film, and he passed away just 3 years ago from brain cancer. So it's this, and the little girl in the film is my daughter, who's now 10. So it's like this little amazing, beautiful, moving time capsule of that moment in our lives.
Wow.
Yeah, so I know.
And yeah, we joke about some horrible things on the show, but that's touching.
Yeah.
If you ever need to talk death, I'm the person to call.
Speaking of, we've made fun of death and
horrible,
gotten a lot of trouble for it. But
that's like you said, like if you can't laugh at it, like it's dark humor when we make fun of a story or something, but it is sad, and whatever it is, like still bothers you, like still bothers me, like to an extent, but I do find. You have to find the humor in things.
The one that we got a lot of shit for was a woman in Pemberton, New Jersey, who
burned her newborn baby.
Like, literally, she just given birth to it, brought it out to the middle of the street, and lit it on fire.
Yeah.
And we know it's terrible, but we turned it into a joke, and a lot of people were angry about that. But, I mean, come on. She lit a baby on fire. I mean, that's...
I was just like, who would want to have sex with that woman? Like, she wasn't that good of a mother.
That she was thinking of her dating profile at that time. That was something that she might include on her dating profile,
right?
Just for the record.
Pete did like her though. Our buddy Pete, he was really into her.
Pete, I think Pete had something to say.
Oh yeah, did you ever see that documentary, Dear Zachary?
No.
Oh, watch Dear Zachary. That will make you cry.
It'll make
I
you
cried
I'm
3 times.
It'll make you cry. It'll make you angry. Like I got angry.
That one is rough. We're not going to spoil it for you, but watch Dear Zachary.
If
you have Netflix, it's on Netflix, and it might even be on the Amazon Prime right now. But yeah.
Okay, Peter Zachary.
Dear Zachary. It's a letter. Dear Zachary, a letter to.
Dear Zachary.
Dear Zachary. Yeah. The cover is just like a tree or something, and and we're ripoffs. I found out about Dear Zachary through the Opie and Anthony show, so ripping off Opie and Anthony again.
Yeah, we've been accused of being
hacks.
But
if we don't have our gallows humor, right? If we don't have that, it's just it's kind of done. Like even amongst, I mean, my husband's illness and death was. I mean, it was a horror show, right? But, there were still things that we laughed at. And that's like the inspiration for Super Widow was a friend of mine is Bruce McCullough from Kids in the Hall.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
He saw me writing this, more sincere blog called Dig Deep, Finish Well, which was, about the projects in my house that I was finishing since my husband had passed. And he said, you need to write Super Widow. And just from that sentence, there was this whole thing that came out because, having the personality that I do, and a lot of people in grief go through this, and a lot of widows do that I've talked to, you think like, I am going to grieve like no one has grieved before. No one is going to grieve any better than I could grieve. I am going to kill this grieving thing. And so, I found myself, my daughter didn't have one therapist. She actually had 3 therapists. And so Super Widow is sort of the embodiment of this kind of mania that overtakes you. But at the same time, her message is really that, you're stronger than you think. You can, you think you can't get through something, but you can. So
I noticed that.
It's wrapped in humor.
In my own divorce, I noticed, like, it seemed like everything, when I was going through divorce, I lived out of state at the time, and we were going through that. I lost my job, so I was losing my apartment. I was going to move back home to my parents. I was going to the post office to change my address, and on the way, somebody turned into me and totaled my car. It was one of the lowest points of my life.
Yeah, and what did you learn?
I could just handle. I can handle a lot of shit, and life will kick me in the dick over and over again.
I know, it's true, right? Like there's a point that you come to. I mean, that you just kind of go, okay, that's life. I'm just like, what next? Okay, I'm going to roll with it. What do I want to accomplish? I've got my daughter who I think about, and she's sort of my main inspiration and goal. But without the humor, I can't even imagine.
Is Ralph? Are you still there?
No, I think Ralph, our other friend, had been on. I think he hung up.
All right, I was going to ask if he had any questions.
I'm ready to cry.
If he was on, I was going to ask him if he had any questions.
My girlfriend Jules said that movie looks sad.
Yeah, well, it's also I tried to. You mean The House I Keep? Are you talking?
Yes, The House I Keep. Yes, that's what.
Yeah, the thing that I tried to do is like it separated it enough from myself that it's not just like hitting you over the head with, oh my God, it's terrible, which obviously it is. But there is sort of, there is a sense of hope and there is a sense of magic about it as well. That the point of departure is really this is the day that the lead character, decides, am I going to follow my child into the darkness, or am I going to choose the love that's around me? And so that's kind of the center of her journey with this day. And so there, it's beautiful. Like it is palatable, and I wanted it to be that because I didn't want it just to be, one angry woman, as I claim that I am quite proudly, but one angry woman's view of the world and her experiences, because that would just alienate everybody.
That's what Slim's bio on Twitter says.
Right.
One angry woman.
One angry woman. If I had a Twitter, I guess that's what it would say.
That should be my one-woman show, my next one-woman show. So I'm really playing with Super Widow right now, and having her, because she has like a full-on costume, right?
I kind of I don't know if I missed it, but Super Widow, is that something you're working on? Like what exactly?
Yeah. Like a spoof or?
It started as a blog. It started with my friend Bruce, mentioned to write, Super Widow. So it started as a blog. Right. And then from the blog, I created a little webisode. And then from that webisode, I've done, I'm working on a few podcast things. And as well, I want to I'll be creating more video. Because Super Widow she has a pill hat, like a mourner's pill hat, like an old-fashioned pill hat with the veil, but then has her full-on, black satin cape that says Super Widow and her groovy outfit. But she just does chores and stuff, right? She does a little bit of
that sounds awesome.
That does sound funny.
Wow. Jenna, this was great. We have to wrap it up, though. We got Jhene. Sure. Is it Jhene or Jenna? Is Jhene?
It's Jhene. It has a sh, and then it rhymes with Dana. So
Jhene.
Yeah.
Well, Jhene. Yeah. This is great. We'll have to have you on again. We're going to watch.
I would love that.
I want to watch your 10-minute short and watch Dear Zachary, because we're going to have a conversation about that, too, because that's one of those things. It's depressing, but 100%.
So when you need a crying episode in between all the other stuff that you do, you know who to call, right?
Yeah.
This was a nice change too for our dick and shit joke show.
Yes.
Those are good. Those are good. Don't feel that they can't be about grief too.
I'm almost curious too. Did you check us out before you agreed to an interview, or did you just go for it?
I kind of a little bit, and I thought I went, yeah, this is awesome. These guys are I love what they're doing, and
thank you.
Yeah, so I just not a ton because it seemed like I just loved what you were doing.
Wow, thank you so much, and thank you for calling us.
Well, thanks for inviting me on. It's really been fun. Now I'm going back to my glass of wine.
All right.
And where can everybody find you again, Jhene?
You wish everybody what?
Where can everybody find you?
Oh, so thehouseikeep.com and superwidow.com are the two best places to find the stuff that I'm up to.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
We'll keep in touch, Jhene.
That sounds great. Thank you so much for your time, and really lovely meeting you and talking to you.
It was great talking to you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, take care. All right, guys, we'll be back. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.